Have you ever dreamed you were soaring over the Alaska highway, smooth as a bird in flight? Then you wake up and realize you have to drive this highway from hell. Welcome, viewers, to part 5 of our epic Alaska RV adventure. In this episode, we explore the northern portions of the famed Alaska Highway. We'll depart from Porcupine Creek, heading northwest to Johnson's Crossing, then continue on to Kluane Lake, and finally end up boondocking at Dry Creek in the Yukon. One of the things we love about boondocking is it gives us the flexibility to depart after we're done working. But perhaps today, it would have been better to get going a bit sooner. One thing we're learning about this region is that the weather can change pretty quickly, and it seems like rain is a constant companion. But of course, rain is what makes all this vibrant vegetation possible. Let's get packed up and get out of here before it gets even muddier. Fortunately, the road out is somewhat raised and in good condition. We don't have a long haul today. We're going to stay at an RV park, and it's only about 110 miles up the road, or 177 kilometers. As an extra bonus, the weather ahead is looking better. The Teslin Bay Bridge project in Teslin is a major upgrade. It's aiming to significantly improve the lives of the people in this region. When complete, it will support more traffic, larger loads, cyclists and pedestrians, and be a lot safer to boot. Our destination for tonight is Johnson's Crossing. It's a historic spot with a story to tell, just a short drive north of Teslin. Now, Johnson's Crossing might not look like much, but it's got everything an RVer could ask for. Number 1, full hookups. Don't pretend you don't get excited about those. Number 2, gas, because nobody wants to be stranded in the Yukon with an empty tank. And number 3, well, that's a surprise. Our spot was pretty narrow, but our neighbors were kind and moved their Jeeps so we had a bit more space to pull in. We had to reposition a few times to get it so we could pull the slide out, but it all worked out in the end. All settled in, it's time we break out some steaks we bought back in episode 2 from the Washtalk family campground. We've been looking very forward to sinking our teeth into these. And they're absolutely delicious. But take note of that sauce in the bowl. If Dang ever offers you any, stay clear. It's liquid fire. This morning we're heading over to the lodge. Supposedly they have a pretty good bakery here. Stepping inside, we're greeted by a charming lodge that's surprisingly well stocked. They've got the usual snacks and drinks, but also a great selection of souvenirs, clothing, hats, even some local gemstones. Foodies will love their selection of unique spices and condiments. Definitely worth exploring. There are even places to sit down and relax, perhaps enjoying a pastry, both inside and outside. During the construction of the Alcan, Johnson's Crossing was home to the 93rd Engineers, a segregated African American unit. These brave men faced harsh conditions and discrimination as they helped connect Alaska to the world. Breakfast in hand, we head back to the trailer. We've got a lot to do before our late checkout, and thankfully they were kind enough to let us stay a bit longer. The The breakfast sandwiches were good, though I don't think these are homemade buns. The bacon, however, was top-notch. There is one thing, however, this place is known for, and that's their cinnamon buns, and they did not disappoint. Sugared up and ready to go, it's time to tackle some chores. The laundromat, while not large, is perfectly functional and clean. With laundry out of the way and the gas tank full, we can pack up now and head north to Whitehorse. It's just over an hour's drive, but with road construction and the ever-changing weather, you never know what to expect. But you're always safe expecting rain. But it stays mild and doesn't impede our progress. There's supposed to be a Canadian superstore in Whitehorse, and we're hoping they will have a place we can park the rig while Dang shops and I finish up the rest of my day's work. As we approach Whitehorse, the Yukon's capital city, it looks surprisingly familiar. Bustling streets and all the amenities you'd expect. Not sure about you, but we get rather nervous driving around cities with a rig attached. A wrong turn can mean a real headache. It's coming up on the left. Now the question is there room for a 53-foot truck and trailer here? Fortunately, it looks like there is. We can use this back row that's very far away from the store. I don't think any normal customers will want to park out here. Thankfully, this part of Whitehorse has a very strong Verizon signal, so we can skip the Starlink setup today. That's going to make getting out of here a quick departure. And while I'm working, Dang's going to provision up in this very well-stocked store. When you're traveling through this vast open country like this, you'll learn to appreciate these little oases of civilization. Leaving Whitehorse behind, we notice the road conditions starting to deteriorate. We're hoping this is not a sign of things to come, but we expect it is. A 100 miles north of Whitehorse, we reach Haines Junction. Here we could continue straight and head into Haines, Alaska, but we have other plans for tonight, so we're going to make a right and continue on the Alcan. From here, we're skirting the eastern edge of Kluane National Park, a place of incredible natural wonders that we'll explore more in depth later. Our goal for tonight is to find a lakeside spot at a scenic lookout near Kluane Lake. And here we are. It looks pretty full. But we might be able to squeeze into that spot behind the SUV. A spot right on the lakeshore would be the perfect place to soak in these views. And luckily, that SUV just left, giving us prime real estate. It's always a bit of a gamble arriving later in the day, but sometimes you get lucky. And we even have a nice little path leading down to the beach. These mountains, wow, the way the clouds dance around the peaks, revealing just glimpses of their majesty. It's like they're teasing us with their beauty. It makes us think about all the wonders that still await us on this journey. And we have neighbors, a pair of black-billed magpies, I believe. It seems we're not the only ones drawn to this stunning landscape. Those geese, or ducks, are putting on quite a show. Oh, to visit the mountains. We'll have to wait for a future trip as we only have one day here. Let's see this area from above, as the magpies do. Kluane Lake is big. It covers over 100,000 acres. To put that in perspective, that's like over 75,000 football fields. This massive lake is the largest one found entirely within the Yukon Territory. But here's where it gets interesting. In 2016, the Slims River flowing into this lake vanished in just 4 days. A glacier changed course, cutting off Kluane's main water supply. Hold on, looks like a flight scene plane is coming in. We'll give them some space. These tours are a popular way to see the park, and they have priority in the air. Yes, this massive lake is slowly shrinking, and it's not clear what it will look like in the years to come. It really makes you think about the power of nature and the impact of climate change. Kluane National Park is a must-see for any nature lover. It boasts Canada's highest peak, Mount Logan, and 17 of the country's 20 tallest mountains. And here's something really special. It shares a border with Alaska's Wrangell St. Elias National Park, and together they form the largest internationally protected area in the world, a true wilderness paradise. Combined, they're larger than the entire state of South Carolina. You can't ask for a better office view than this. It's just absolutely amazing. We'll grab a snack, finish work, and then we'll get on the road again later. Our neighbors have all left by now, and we expect new neighbors will be showing up soon. But let's just sit back and enjoy the peaceful serenity for a while. Well, that was nice, but we're going to pack it up now and get on the road. We have about 125 miles to go, and we understand the road is about to get a lot more challenging. The clouds have mostly cleared, so hopefully we're not going to be looking for our boondocking site in the rain. So far, the highway is still in decent condition. With the towering mountains reflecting in Kluane Lake, this is one of the most scenic stretches of the Alcan yet. Driving between the park and the lake, we're reminded to watch for Dall sheep who often wander onto the road here. We're going to pull into Destruction Bay for gas and a quick look around. They've got all the essentials: gas, a store, a restaurant, even a motel and an RV park. And this place is a must-stop for any sticker enthusiasts. Taking a peek inside, we find everything from groceries and camping supplies to unique local crafts and souvenirs. They also have a full restaurant. We didn't partake, but it appears to be a great stop to break up the long drive on the Alcan. Shortly after, we pass Burwash Landing, a historic settlement that's home to the Kluane First Nation. And this is where the road takes a turn for the worse. Not a literal turn, mind you, but rather a turn in road quality. Get ready for a bumpy ride. The road conditions demand your full attention. Forget about staying in your lane. It's all about finding the smoothest path through the potholes and the frost heaves. As long as there's no oncoming traffic, it's every driver for themselves. The good news is the Alaskan government has entered into an agreement with the Yukon Territory to improve and maintain the Alcan Highway in this area. The project is slated to begin in 2025 and continue through 2027. And while the end result will be a much improved road, travelers during that construction period should be prepared for some lengthy waits. There are parts of this road we slow down to 5 miles per hour. No kidding. And what's worse, there are stretches where you get fooled into thinking it's okay again, only to find an atrociously bad section sneaks up on you suddenly. And of course, our trailer, with its relatively little 15-inch wheels, is much more affected compared to, say, the big wheels of a semi-truck. Those potholes feel like craters. We encounter periodic reminders of the toll the road extracts from those who travel on it. It looks like there's an RV park up here on the left, Discovery Yukon. Looks pretty nice, but we have our sights set on a boondocking location tonight. But if that doesn't work out, it's just 10 miles or so up the road, we might come back here. We're noticing a lot of water around here. Hopefully, Dry Creek is just that, dry. Fingers crossed. And this short hop up from Kluane Lake of 120 miles is taking about 4 hours. This is definitely slow going. It's getting pretty late. Our turnout is supposed to be right up ahead here on the left. Yes, that looks like it. Now the question is there anyone there? And will we be able to turn around? While the blind entrance is nice for privacy, it also adds an element of surprise as to whether the campsite is viable. Well, would you look at that? Nobody here at all. And that's a good thing too, because this place is pretty small. We wouldn't stay if there was someone else here. Now, we're not sure how this gets the name Dry Creek. It doesn't look very dry to us, but that's just fine. Let's see how the trailer fared on that road from hell. Looks like some of the cabinets opened a bit, but nothing appears to have fallen. What a find! The trees provide privacy, and the sound of the rushing creek creates a natural symphony that drowns out any traffic noise. Once again, we've found a gem of a boondocking spot up here in the Yukon. This is Forest Service land, so we can stay here as late as we want tomorrow. Starlink and solar are both happy, and it's level and right off the highway, so super quick and easy to get set up. We're only 25 or so miles from the Alaskan border, where our Alaskan adventure begins. And look how beautiful this area is. Well, this is going to be our last night in the Yukon, in Canada as a matter of fact, for quite some time. We feel so fortunate to have been able to take this bucket list trip and see all the wondrous sights we've seen so far. And while we have been traveling in the comfort of our travel trailer, it's important to remember there are many ways to travel this path. Canada has truly captivated us with its beauty and wonder, but now the Alaska chapter awaits. We're crossing the border tomorrow, eager to explore the last frontier. If you've enjoyed this video, we hope you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. This feedback enables us to continue producing content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Alaska.